Ford, the two men accused of shooting Thomas Arnold on the BeltLine are facing a jury this week. They are accused of killing Arnold while he was walking home from a night out with friends in 2022. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond is live at the Fulton County Courthouse as opening statements began today. Sarah.
Yeah, that's right. And the state told the jury that Thomas Arnold was walking home from Pure Taqueria on the BeltLine after a night out with friends. But the state says that he didn't get more than 1,000 feet away from the restaurant before someone shot him in the head. Now, the prosecution alleges that Brandon Williams and Demetrius Ross are the men responsible. The prosecution says Arnold walks out of frame of surveillance cameras near Beach Circle, and then a nearby Ring doorbell picked up the sound of a single gunshot. They say no police or witnesses were around, and two women out walking the next morning found his body and flagged down police. Attorneys say surveillance video picked up three men in the area at the time of the shooting. They say two of them are Williams and Ross. Now, defense attorneys say these two men are not responsible and deny every charge against them.
There was absolutely no justification for this shooting. You will hear that this is over an attempted robbery of a man who didn't have anything to give. But you can't leave any witnesses.
You will not hear that Mr. Williams' DNA was on any of the physical evidence recovered from the scene. You will not hear that any clothing was recovered from Brandon Williams that had a drop of Mr. Arnold's blood on it.
Now, the state plans to call multiple witnesses during this trial, including friends who were out with Arnold that night. They say they also plan to call a friend of Williams who claims that Williams allegedly told him that he killed Arnold. Live from the Fulton County Courthouse, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.